Today is the day. Everyone has been busy preparing for the speech. I was told to relax, and I've used the opportunity to move into the forest and get some fresh air. If only everywhere was as peaceful as this. It was said. I turned around to see Ophelia slowly walking toward me, a hesitant smile on her face. Ophelia. I'm sorry that I cannot be much of help during these distressing times. You've already helped me enough, Ophelia. You supported Father when I did not. You have to stay safe, you and the others. You've truly changed. Ophelia takes my hands in hers and looks at me solemnly. Promise me you'll come back to us. I'll be praying for nothing happens today, but if it does, I beseech you to put your safety first. Ophelia. I may not be your real mother, but you've always been my daughter. Guilt floods through me. I've been cruel to her ever since she first came to our lives, and yet she still treats me so warmly, you know? Ironically, because it's like the opposite of like Cinderella, right? Like, I guess her curse in general is like always the opposite. Yeah, usually the stepmother always like treats the daughter really cruelly, but it's actually the other way around. I do not deserve your kindness after all I've done to you, Emmeline and Rod. I'm sorry, or I've done to you, Emmeline and Rod. Ophelia pulls me into a hug and smooths down my hair. It's all in the past now, dear. What matters now is the present. I nod and close my eyes. I missed out on so many things that when I closed my heart up to everyone, I always thought I was alone, but I was wrong. Thank you, Ophelia. Sir Alcaster's speech starts in an hour, and everyone's making last-minute preparations before we go into town. Ophelia, Emmeline, and Annice will stay behind as Rod and Rempo volunteer to watch over them. Laura and Parfait left yesterday to attend a meeting with the fairies. Apparently, they found someone who holds important information about Mother and her plans. Emmeline approaches us, her eyebrows creased. Set, should you see your mother there, what will you do? I haven't really thought about it yet. We are bound to face her sometime soon. I know that she is your mother, Princess, but are you emotionally ready to face her? I am taken back by her question, rather. Jurian, I apologize for being blunt, but we all have to consider the worst possible scenario, don't we? I need to know that the princess is ready to face her. In the battlefield, one must not hesitate. Jurian continues to look at me, waiting for my answer. I finally face her with determination. I will face her, and I will stop her. Okay. Chapter 9, The Queen. Nearing the end. This is where shit hits the fan, I assume. I stand in an alleyway with Waltz, Jurian, and Karma, making sure to stay hidden in shadow as we watch the sea of people moving toward the plaza. Garland is scouting around the plaza for Knights' positions, and we have been waiting here for him. There's so many people. Yep, back to our weird blanket robe. Okay, this is where we split up. So when you think about it, we are like a witch, right? Like a wizard, witch, magic person thing, so actually having a robe and hood actually makes sense. I don't know. Remember that we're trying to avoid needless battle. If anything should happen, fleeing is a better option. I'm not a fool. I would not pick a fight that would put anyone in needless danger. I'm glad you understand. Remember, we're only here to watch and listen. I don't want us to get into a skirmish if we can avoid it. So should anything go wrong, we need you to retreat, Princess. No. No. I'll not leave you all behind. So sad, this isn't time to be stubborn. It's not about stubbornness. It's just that all I have ever done is run. I refuse to keep fleeing. I have people to protect. I will not let them down. Running away isn't always cowardice, you know? Haven't you ever heard, you know? Discretion is the better part of valor. That may be, but sometimes there are situations that you need to face head on. Head on, applied directly to the forehead. I still remember that dumb meme. I don't know. Anyway, this is one of those situations. Please understand, Waltz. I just don't want you to get hurt, Lucette. I know. I look at Waltz, feeling at a loss. No matter what I say, he will always insist on my safety first. Garland suddenly appears with a stiff frown. Look who I found. I turn to look at Garland, and then notice the man beside him. My eyes widen at the sight of him. Fritz! Garland pushes him, and Fritz stumbles forward. He falls to his knees only a few inches away from me. You're okay. Oh, thank goodness you're alright, Princess. I twitch to the side of his face. There's no sign of the wicked smile that was on his face when he was under the guise of Varg. Did we just notice that? I don't know. I don't know if it's ever confirmed that we just knew he was Varg all this whole time and everything. I guess it's like his mask fell off and everything, so maybe that's when we knew? I don't know. Though he looks confused, the relief in his eyes seemed genuine. Are you truly Fritz? Are you Varg? Or both? I'm the Fritz you always known, Princess. Your loyal knight. I totally don't transform into the other guy sometimes. Totally? I raise an eyebrow. I can still remember what happened weeks ago when the mask fell from his face in the room of the Tannerum. In that moment I saw Fritz's face, no matter what Varg said. Varg was in league with Alcaster and Mithros. The man I saw back then was definitely Fritz, even if he never confirmed it. What are you doing here? Fritz flinches. I've been searching for you. Why? So you can take me back to Mithros? Or are you here to kill me? Fritz bows low, his clenched hands trembling at his sides. I will never surrender you to Sir Mythos. My loyalty has always been to the kingdom and to you. I could never hurt you, Princess. But I don't blame you for doubting me. My father. I would have stopped him if I knew. Fritz glances up at me slowly, his expression resolute. I just escaped yesterday when I was captured by knights. I managed to escape from them today, but only barely. I was supposed to meet the Lucis bearer yesterday. Fritz glares, not at me, but through me, as if remembering something unpleasant. That was when I was able to take control of my body again, just a few days ago. Okay, interesting. I've been searching for you, but instead I found some witches who seemed to be in league with the Lucis bearer. I requested an audience with her as soon as possible, because I wasn't sure how long I could keep Varg at bay. At bay? Fritz, explain. Okay, so interesting that this time that he knows about Varg. You know, the whole time in his route, and especially probably in the other routes as well, he just never knew that he was Varg. Explain. About Varg? No, about this audience. Oh, okay. Princess, this could all be some elaborate ruse of his, you know? He could be Varg this whole time, and he simply like bleached his hair, I don't know. That could be a thing, I don't know. I have a responsibility to at least hear him out. What do you want from Parfait? I have important information about Hidaire. Mother. Lady Parfait did say that her and Delora were going to meet with someone who had information on Hidaire. And you believe that their meeting was with this man? Harmer turns to Fritz, clearly skeptical. That seems like it could be a coincidence. How are we to believe you? Fritz is slightly silent for a few moments. After some time, he speaks again, more hesitantly. I know that apologizing won't change the fact that I have betrayed the princess and the kingdom. Right now, I'm doing my best to right my wrongs while I still have control over my body. The knights are still searching for me as we speak, so I'll make this as brief as I can. Hidaire is growing weaker. What? I haven't been myself for the past few weeks, but I still have portions of Varg's memories. Okay, again, interesting that he remembers stuff. I remember that she is bedridden, still being treated for wounds that she sustained during the Great War. And she is now sick like Parfait, only Mother seems to have it worse than her. I overheard Mithros say that the crystal no longer recognizes her as its sole bearer. Parfait says something similar, but she says she can no longer feel Mother's connection to the Tannerum, of what Fritz just said. It seems that the crystal has seen both of you as its bearers. It's stretching its energy to both of you. This might be why Hidaire hasn't regained her full powers and has remained weak. Both stares at Fritz, eyes wide. The crystal having two bearers. I didn't think such a thing was possible. Is this why Hidaire still refuses to show herself in public? Yes. The witches who used to be on her side doubt her capability to rule. none of them want to help her when she's still so weak. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wonder if Mithros, still cares about Hadir when she's so weak, because Mithros only likes her and is obsessed with her because she's all powerful and everything. But when she isn't, just like a yandere, when a yandere is so obsessed with their love interest, as soon as their love interest is not as they've hoped for, not as as perfect as they hoped for, they often betray their love interest. So I wonder if Mithros, might not like Hadir anymore. Might not be so loyal anymore. I wonder. Mithros figures that the only way to get the crystal to fully accept Hadir is to drain the rest of your powers. Or maybe he is, I don't know. Maybe he still cares, I don't know. That's why the palace has issued a higher bounty on your head. The father is no longer interested in actively hunting for you. There's been a rift between him and Mithros because of this. Waltz crosses his arms, his expression thoughtful. I'm surprised Hadir hasn't disposed of Alcaster yet. If he's still alive, it means that he must still play an important role in her plans. Fritz's expression quickly morphs into something grim as he frowns down to the ground. You're right. Waltz and I exchange a look before we return back to Fritz. Mithros plans to kill my father today. Fritz's eyes are distant, his mouth pulled into a tight grimace. All I can do is stare at him, uncertain of what he just told me. Hadir will show herself to the public today. She and Mithros plan to kill father in front of an audience and hope that their fear and despair will fuel the Tenebrarum. Okay, that's what it is, like a public assassination. They think fueling the Tenebrarum might make Hadir stronger. They plan to use the fear of the public to achieve their own ends. This is not good. This many people here, the Tenebrarum might indeed see the surge of power again. Even a weakened Hadir will be difficult to fight, but we stand more of a chance against her now than we do if she fuels the Tenebrarum with negativity. Please, save the kingdom, princess. Fritz looks at me imploringly. I shake my head slowly. I'm confused. You betrayed us, but then you're still helping us as well. Which side are you on? The only reason why I'm working for them in the first place is because of my curse. I swear it. Fritz tries to stand up, but his knees wobble and suddenly he's down on the ground again, his hand clutching at his chest. Fritz? No, not yet. Fritz looks at me, his pale face covered in sweat. I have no idea how long I can suffocate Varg, so please, bind me, freeze me. Do whatever you can to help to keep me from chasing after you. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. Fritz keels over, his forehead touching the ground. Please. Waltz. I know. Okay, I guess we're gonna I don't know, maybe literally freeze him? No, okay, well here's a row. Because there is a freezing spell. I believe Mithros did get frozen, in one route. But no, Waltz snaps his fingers, and a rope of light appears around Fritz's wrist, pulling him to the ground. I furrow my eyebrows at Fritz, even as he cocks his head to look at me. Thank you. You don't have much time left. I plan to deliver my message to the Lucis bearer, but I leave it in your capable hands instead. Fritz, I'm sorry. I will do anything to protect my charge. Now go. Julian nods at me. Don't worry, Garland and I will keep an eye on him. Garland quickly informs us of the knights' positions around the plaza and gives us clues about where we might hide to avoid their prying eyes. After he has finished his briefing, Waltz, Carmen, and I walk off. Father, please watch over us today. There's so many people here. They have no idea that this seemingly harmless speech will be the start of their nightmares. I've been fiddling with my fingers since we got here. My nerves have been slowly taking over me. There's so many knights. I pull down the hood of my cloak to make sure that my face is concealed from them. Walt suddenly reaches out to take my hand. He raises it to his lips. Okay. Walt looks at me with a gentle smile. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you. I'm not worried about myself. I'm more worried about the people's safety, as well as our friends. I I will not forgive myself if something bad happens to them. You're not the only one responsible for protecting everyone here. Remember that I will always share your burden, Lucette. Oh, interesting. You have 3 choices. You can do an ellipses as well. I don't know. I feel like that doesn't change anything. You could be stubborn, say, "This burden is mine to carry." Or the neutral answer, or "I know." Sure. I look at him and smile. Thank you. I've told you so many times that I will do anything for you, Lucette. I feel the same way. Waltz wraps his arms around my waist and draws me closer to him. Waltz? Waltz takes my hand and plants a kiss on my fingers. You worry too much, Princess. How I wish I could share your optimism. And his casualness. How does he manage to act like this in front of so many people at so dire a time? You know, maybe because he's like a performer, you know? That he's good at acting a certain way despite his actual feelings. The king is here! Wow! A woman announces the king's presence, and Waltz and I immediately turn our attention to the stage. He takes a step away from me, arms at his side, expression suddenly stoic. Alcaster walks to the center of the platform with a triumphant smile. Good day, my loyal subjects. Everyone goes silent at the sound of his voice. I know that much has happened in our palace since the late King Gennaro passed away. We are still exerting our efforts to find the king's murderer, his very own daughter. Rest assured that justice shall find this criminal, even if she is our own princess. Anyone who's able to surrender her to the palace will be rewarded handsomely. Members of the crowd begin to chatter amongst each other. It hurts that people believe him, but I cannot say I blame them. As your king, I will do everything in my power to make sure that the kingdom flourishes under my rule. My, what a sight. Even after all these years, you humans never change. Uh-oh, it's the old bad guy versus bad guy, you know? That voice. I frantically look around for her, but though her voice echoes around us, she's nowhere to be seen. Where is she hiding? The crowd grows restless at the sound of her voice. Many try to search for her with their eyes. You lot are nothing but manipulative, lying rodents, and yet you call us witches the wicked ones. A bright light fades into existence right beside Alcaster. A silhouette emerges from the light, and suddenly I can see her in all her wicked glory. My mother, the witch who killed my father. Mythos stands behind her. Okay, well, yeah, I was thinking maybe Mythos would probably abandon her as well, and there'll be some tragic scene where we see her dear dying in her bedside or something. Guess not. She's just as evil as she can be. She's here. Her sudden appearance causes the already restless crowd to break into a panic. Silence! One word from her, and the crowd falls into silence. Not a single person dares to move, their eyes now glued to the witch in front of them. Alcaster acts more quickly than I expected, drawing his sword from its sheath and putting it in her neck. You! What are you doing here? You should be thankful that I let you play king for so long, but I'm afraid playtime is over. The crown belongs to me. Mother faces the crowd with a smile and spreads her arms in a gesture of grandness. And Jill, your queen is back. Mother is even paler than when I last saw her, making the dark circles stand out even more beneath her eyes. She looks worse than Parfait, even though she's probably not drawn that way. She still looks fine, but I guess, just imagine her that way, I guess. A little bit paler, a little dark circles. I won't let you steal my crown, witch. Oh, but I was not the one who stole it in the first place. Alcaster grits his teeth and charges toward Mother. Mythos deftly steps in front of her and casts a shield. Alcaster slams his sword into an invisible wall. Then with a wave of Mythos' hand, Alcaster is suddenly thrown back. Once again, the crowd becomes restless. I've tolerated you for far too long, human. But right now, you're inconsequential. Sparkling icicle darts appear in midair as Mother raises her hand. They point outward, casting themselves in the direction of the townspeople. Oh no. You know, interesting that, I assume her element is actually like, ice, right? Because, you know. Interesting that, for example, Lucette is always called an ice princess. I feel like, yeah, that's probably an allusion to Hadir being like an ice witch, you know? She probably uses mostly ice spells as her, like, offensive arsenal and everything. So sometimes it's hard to imagine, you know, what sort of abilities they use unless it's described a lot, because often when we have a spell animation, it's just like a magic circle rotating and going towards us, you know? I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they might have spent a little bit time making better special effects for that, maybe? I don't know, maybe not. It doesn't matter though. She used this spell before, but now there are even more of them. She looks weak, and yet she can still manage this much. You can easily destroy this part of town with that spell. I stare at Waltz, eyes wide, then lower my voice into a panic whisper. I thought she was planning to kill Alcaster. Seems like the plans have changed. Farewell, my disloyal subjects. You cannot let her do this. Lucette! I ignore Waltz and quickly run to the center of the crowd, knowing this will be the most effective place to set up a barrier. A strong gust of wind causes my hood to come off. Oh yeah, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, we're here now, we're casting magic. We're badass. I stretch out my arms as I concentrate on casting a shield around the entirety of the crowd. Isn't that the princess? Which? I do my best to shut out everyone's voices as I push all my energy toward the palms of my hands, imagining an impenetrable glass arcing in front of me. As soon as I have cast the massive shield, the icicles shatter upon impact, falling away. And I guess, yeah, again, the robes actually do fit her now because she is like a magic user and everything, you know? It tends to be that mages and wizards and witches, they have robes and everything. I don't know, it's like a fantasy trope, I guess. I wince at the impact, but force myself to stand steady even when I'm pushed back. I will not let you hurt anyone anymore, Mother. The crowd begins to murmur all around us. Ah, so you finally showed up, little one. It's good to see you again, my dear daughter. I knew I'd see some sort of reaction if I opened my speech like this. She did this to draw me out. Now, be a good girl and hand over what's rightfully mine. You won't get away with this, witch! Cash is once again back on his feet, his sword poised and ready to strike. He cannot defeat Mother with a mere sword. Mother looks at Alcaster, a wide grin slowly parts her lips. But I already have. Mother flicks her hand as silver light begins to gather in her palm. I recognize that spell. As much as I hate Alcaster for what he's done to this kingdom, I cannot just stand idly by as he summons a spell to kill him. Can you? I mean, he's like irredeemable. Like Alcaster's like sucks. Like even as a character, you know, not to like rant too much, but like he's just bad in every way. There's literally nothing redeemable about him. You know, he's like for some reason everyone like, for example, the king trusts him and everything, but like, he's just all about, you know, power. Fear, everyone must be, you know, stomped by my boot, and I must rule, you know, I'm the king, you know, and then he kills the, like usually he tries to kill the royal family or attempts to and everything, and like he treats his son like a tool for his ambitions, right? He doesn't have any love for like Fitzgerald, his actual literal son, and like I don't know, like there's no like real. I don't know, again, this is a dumb rant, but like, again, it's like, there's no real sympathetic reason for him, like, wanting the kingdom to be ruled in such a way, like, by fear. Like, what, like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because usually, I don't know, like, in any kind of villain, when there's always, like, the philosophical argument of, like, you know, we must rule the kingdom this way, or whatever. usually there's like a reason for that, like a personal reason. For example, I don't know, like because the kingdom was ruled this way, you know, or like it needs to be strong, you know, the kingdom needs to be strong because in the past, for example, my wife was killed or something like that because the kingdom was too weak, and therefore I've committed my entire life to making this kingdom strong, and therefore I'm the guy to do that or whatever, right? I can probably imagine something like that because we never really see his wife, right? We never see like Fritz's like mother. So I wonder if maybe, like for example, his wife died, and that's why he's so hell bent on ruling the kingdom this way. However, we don't see anything like that. Yeah, he's kind of like a shallow villain. So we never see anything like that. So I hate him, and like as a character as well, like as a person and as a character. I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. This is just a dumb rant. As much as I hate Outcaster, even though he's like a shallow character, I need to save him, I guess. I push myself forward, rushing toward Outcaster. Outcaster, run! But I'm too late. A second later, a sort of light appears and impales Outcaster right through his chest. Oh well. Alright. Bye, Outcaster. I guess you're dead. No! Not Outcaster! This time, the crowd finally begins to disperse. People begin to push past each other, screaming and crying. Most of them are almost at the edges of the plaza before Mother casts another spell, creating a barrier to lock everyone inside. A strange wave of energy pulsates through my body, making me stumble. That's right. Feed me your fear. Fear! Num num num. Give me fear energy. The people's negative energy is fueling the Tenebrarum. My eyes shift toward Mother, whose grin is deranged, inhumanly wide. The shivers run down my spine. Mother, stop this madness! These two are fighting, I guess. It makes sense. In my mode of hesitation, Waltz rushes forward to cast a spell. Purple spikes run toward Mother, but she does nothing to stop them. Mythos effortlessly stands in front of her, casting a shield. The force of Waltz's spell sends him stumbling backward. I hear his shield crack. Mythos tries to keep it up but ends up succumbing to the force of Waltz's spell. Eventually, the glass shatters and the spikes force their way through. One of them impales Mythos through the chest. Okay. Ow. Another villain down? I mean, again, it's fun. Look, it's funny that Lucette doesn't care about Mythos dying, you know? I mean, he's also like a comparable villain, comparable to Outcaster. I do like him better though. He's more subtle about his evil. He's like, you know, basically like lawful evil, you know, in D&D. He's like, you know, he doesn't just straight up want to slaughter everyone. He just wants his true queen to like rule over everyone, even though she's evil. So I don't know. I like Mythos better, only because I like his character better. But I guess he's gonna die. Oh well. He just dies. Mother glances at Waltz, her lips pulled into a pleased smile. Impressive. You can still use your magic even after being separated from it for so long. I expected no less from my superior apprentice. Mother turns to Mythos and raises her eyebrows slowly. You are still a disappointment, Myth. My queen. These are the last words he can manage before he stops speaking. Again, funny that Lucette cares about. She cared about Outcaster not dying, but he doesn't give a shit about Mythos. Like, she doesn't say like, no, Mythos, no. But I guess it makes more. I guess it makes sense because Mythos is more actively like a villain in this timeline. I guess. You know, she'd probably hate Outcaster more if Outcaster was the one threatening her and everything. Father! Fritz's voice echoes through the suddenly silent plaza. Oh, Fritz. He rushes toward Outcaster, who has managed to walk a good distance away from Mother before he collapses to the ground. Soon, Fritz is kneeling right beside Outcaster's bloody body, Julian and Garland right behind him. Sorry about your dad, Fritz. I'm about to walk over to them, but Karma holds my arm and pulls me back. Don't. But you do not want to set your eyes on such a grisly sight up close, Princess. Mother watches Fritz and the two knights approach with disinterest. Yeah, even though you hate how smug he is, Mythos is pretty damn cool villain. Yeah, I do like, again, because the thing is, sometimes you gotta disassociate yourself the characters. Like, personally, obviously, as a, like, actually, if Mythos was a real person, he would be a piece of shit. But like, in a fictional story, he's awesome because, like, you know, he creates drama, right? He creates intrigue and mystery, which is why it's sometimes, you know, villains, even though they're villains, they're still cool characters and everything, right? Anyway, this is his fate for trying to steal what is rightfully mine. Alcaster brings his hand to his mouth and coughs. I can see blood on his hands. Father's last moments flash through my head, but I will the memory away as Mother turns his gaze on me. Mother surveys me with a warm smile. She holds out her hand and beckons me over. Join me, Lucette. We were meant to rule this kingdom hand in hand from the start. It's like Darth Vader style. These humans do not deserve your protection. They deserve to suffer after everything they've done to our kind. I shake my head. I'd rather die than join you. I'll never join the dark side. What? Ungrateful brat! This is how you repay everything I've done for you? You have done nothing for me. Very well. If you wish for death, I shall give it to you. Once I'm done with you, I will destroy this kingdom and start anew. It will be a kingdom for the witches and I will not let you do that. Whoosh. Who's this? Delora? I recognize that purple magic circle. Either or maybe no purple spike. I guess it was a Waltz in that case. Maybe it's Waltz. Yeah, Waltz also used like purple energy. Mother is taken by surprise when another purple spike suddenly pushes through the ground toward her. She steps back, avoiding the brunt of the attack, but her arm is still grazed. Blood oozes from a newly opened gash. Waltz! You'll have to get through me first. You can't stop me, traitor! Mother extends her hands, and in mere moments lightning has suddenly appeared and is winding up Waltz's body. Unlimited power! And then he gets shocked to death. No! What do? We can attack ourselves, you know, but I don't trust Lucette really knows how to, you know, control her magic attack, her electricity. Like she can also use her electricity attack, but like I don't know if it's really powerful enough to really stop her from, you know, shocking Waltz to death. We can run to him, but I don't know if that will work. Can we like put a barrier maybe? Okay, let's just try. Whee! I rush toward him. Let him go! Said no, it's not safe. Mother, please don't hurt him. Mother looks at me and then to Waltz. Her lips slowly curl into a wicked grin. So this is what your relationship has become. My heart is in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go. I will do anything. Just let him go. Anything? Mother's voice is terrible and sweet, her tone filled with poison. I cannot bring myself to look at her. Instead, I keep my eyes firmly focused on Waltz. When Waltz speaks my name, it is in a soft voice I've come to love so dearly. Lucette. If you wish so much to save him, then you must return what you have taken from me, the Crystallum Tenebrarum. And then you become my sweet, obedient daughter once more. Only then will I let Waltz go. Waltz's eyes begin to dim. I can see the hope draining out of him. I'm sorry, Waltz, but I cannot lose you too. You know where to find me, Lucette. The longer you keep me waiting, the longer he suffers. There's a blinding flash of light, and then Mother and Waltz are both gone. No! A dull ache begins to spread through my chest. Again. I wasn't able to do anything again. Why am I so weak? Suddenly I feel Julian's hand on my shoulder. I turn to look at her. She stares at me solemnly for a few moments, before her expression breaks. She shakes her head. Don't blame yourselves for this. There's nothing you could have done. I have to save him, I guess. Yeah, I guess Waltz is our damsel in distress. We're gonna have to go and save him somehow, maybe. Julian looks through me and I follow her gaze. The people are starting to back away, the expression a mixture of fear and anger. This is exactly like 4 years ago. What should we do now? The king, or rather the witch, just killed the new king. Everyone, it's best for all of you to go home and stay there where you're safe. And what? Wait until that witch kills us? No. One woman points an accusing finger at me. Her fear is palpable. That murderer is a witch as well. She's exactly like her mother. I don't know, I'm just giving dumb voices. A wicked witch. The people begin to curse me. I stand quietly and listen to their insults. I cannot blame them for thinking this way. Karma moves to stand beside Julian, and the two of them shield me from the angry masses. I doubt any of these people will listen to anything I have to say. You know, that's gonna be tough for us to be like the new queen in that case, because technically King Gennaro died, so we do have to take the throne eventually. So these people just hate us though. But however, what's this? Is it one man? Does one man believe in us? Stop. A familiar man walks towards us with a gentle smile. You are... Yes, you remember me? I am man. You know, I'm not man A, not man B, not man C, or not man D. I am simply man. The man. You helped my daughter happy. You helped make my daughter happy on a special day with your gift. I'm surprised when both he and his wife come to stand beside me. What are you doing? I can finally properly repay you for what you've done. The man smiles at me before turning his attention to the crowd. We won't let you hurt the princess. Rumors may have spread about her being a cold and wicked person, but those rumors are false. I know the truth. She's truly a kind person. She just protected us from the evil queen. Have you no shame? The angry shouting begins to fade into hushed accusations and aggressive whispering. Aggressive whispering is a funny way to describe whispering. Anyway. That's right. We won't let you hurt Big Sister. We played hide and seek together, so... These are the children that Waltz and I played with. The ones that watched his shows. The children stand to my other side. Big Sister's a very good person, and we won't let you hurt her. I can only stare in shock at everyone around me. My vision blurs as tears come to my eyes. I quickly wipe them away with the back of my hand. Everyone. A simple act of kindness can go a long way, can't it? These people believe in me. That's why I have to live up to their hopes. I take a deep breath and start walking forward. Durian grabs my hand, her brow creasing with worry, but I shake my head at her and smile. I will be okay. Durian looks at me for a few moments before she finally releases me. Now that I'm directly in front of everyone, the area is quieted. I close my eyes and take another deep breath. Slowly, I get down on one knee before them. I am sorry. The crowd begins to murmur again. I can hear more than a few stifled gasps. Princess, you shouldn't. I raise a hand to silence Durian. I once again look to the townspeople. I know my words are meaningless, but I still want to apologize for everything my mother has done, and also to the people I've hurt. I was blind and naive, ignoring the fear and anxiety of so many people. But I've grown since then, and now I see with clear eyes the hatred you have for my mother and for me. The crowd remains silent, so I continue. King Gennaro was killed by my mother, and I was not strong enough to save him. So yes, you are correct. I am the reason he is dead now. But I made a promise to him, and I intend to keep it. I will protect Angel in his stead, and I hope that all of you will give me a chance to prove myself worthy as your princess and your future queen. I promise I will make things right again, no matter what it takes. At least, I think I can. I bow my head once again before standing, and then turn to Jurgen and Karma. I notice that Fritz and Garland are absent, and Outcast is nowhere to be seen. I guess he dragged them off. Or Garland and Fritz. They took Outcast's body away from all of this. Body, you mean... He has passed. The heaviness begins to sink into my chest. Bloodshed will only beget more bloodshed. This is why I cannot let anyone die anymore, even though you let... I mean, it wasn't our really, like, we didn't do it, but, like, you kind of sort of let, Waltz literally just murder Mithros, but alright. Please do your best, Big Sister! I'm pulled in my reverie by the voice of one of the little boys. Let's play together again when you come back. I stare at their smiling faces with bleary eyes. I do not even know if I will live through this, but I do not have the heart to ruin their optimism. I like that. I need them to keep hoping for a better tomorrow, so they'll be strong enough to stand on their own feet if they must face the whole world. Durian, tell Delore and Parfait what happened when they come back to the Martian. What do you plan to do? Under no circumstance are you going to go that witch alone, am I clear? Waltz will not want you to sacrifice yourself for him. I step back and smile at him and Karma. I apologize for this. I back away toward the palace, putting as much distance as I can between me and the crowd, the platform, and Karma and Durian. Then, as swiftly as I can, I hold out my hand and cast a large dome-shaped shield around the palace and I. Well, that's a really big shield. The energy is falling away from me even as I cast a spell, only to be replaced by new energy. Lieutenant Brown is gaining power. No! Durian rushes toward the shield and places her hands on it. She calls my name, but I only shake my head at her. Princess Lucette, do not be so foolish. No. I refuse to let anyone die. I can manage this shield for an hour. That should be enough time to save Waltz and end this for good. I offer one last smile before I turn and rush through the palace gates. Durian and Karma continue to call my name, but to no avail. I am sorry, everyone, but this is something I must do on my own. This is the only way I can protect you all. I expect resistance when I enter the palace, but to my surprise, there's no one here, not a single soul. Everyone must have evacuated when Mother appeared outside. Stagnant air around me is suffocating. The night air is quiet and cold as death. My footsteps are very loud in the emptiness of this palace. If I give my powers to her voluntarily, will I die? This thought has haunted me since I first entered the palace. All too soon the doors to the throne room are before me. I pause in front of them, suddenly feeling anxious. Father, I'm sorry I cannot be the queen you wanted me to be. Waltz's life hangs in the balance. I must save him. I'm sorry for being selfish. You know, this is a horrible idea considering that she'll just... You know, you should never negotiate with someone that has a hostage because they're just gonna kill the hostage after they're done with you, so... I take a deep breath and with renewed determination, push open the doors. Here you go. Peter Pan and the Lost Girl. Chapter 10. I don't know if I turned off the right decision indicator, so I have no idea if this is the good end or the bad end, but we'll see. It'll be a surprise. For me, anyway. The first thing I see is Mother sitting upon the father's throne. Hello, dearest one. Mother. Somehow she looks even worse than earlier. My gaze is drawn to where Waltz is sitting at Mother's feet. His eyes widen when he notices me. A bright light surrounds his body like a rope, keeping him in place. Waltz! It looks as if he's trying to say something, but his mouth does not budge. It's as if his lips are sewn shut. What have you done to him? Don't worry, Lucette. He is unharmed. With these bindings, his magic is restricted. I just didn't want him to ruin our mother-daughter bonding time, so I sealed his lips. Mother draws his hand through Waltz's hair in a way that reminds me of a mother coddling her child. I clench my fists. Let him go. Mother's eyes flash. She could hurt him so easily if I anger her. I am here now, so let him go. I think I shall keep him where he is until your side of the agreement is completed, dearest one. I can only manage to glare at her. Oh, my darling. Don't look at me like that. Don't you want things to be how they were? We were so happy when we were together. I shake my head at her. That wasn't happiness. You kept me from happiness. And when I finally did find happiness, you took it away. Having friends, being loved by father. I could have had all those things if it weren't for you. And even now, you would take Waltz from me. Mother rests her chin on the palm of her hand, expression cold as ice. This boy makes you happier than I do. You would choose him over me. I'm not looking at Mother when I answer. Instead, I direct my attention to Waltz, who's shaking his head at me. My only apology to him is a silent frown. Yes. I meet Mother's gaze at last. Tell me what I must do to save him. The silence in the throne room is deafening, but I'm resolute. No matter what happens, Waltz must live. Mother raises her hands to her chest, and moments later a silver crystal begins to form, floating above the palms of her hands. The crystal's light is dim, its surface clouded, but I know exactly what it is. The crystalline tenebrarum. It looks so much smaller than it was before. Mother walks toward me, a gentle smile on her face. Come, darling. Raise your hands to the tenebrarum. I falter for an instant. If you take my powers from me, will I die? I will be very careful, Lucette. Since you're offering your powers willingly, no harm shall come to you. I mean, maybe that might be true. We did give her all our powers before, so it didn't really kill us, it just made us, go into a coma for a week, so... Mother's smile is so sweet, her voice so reassuring. Don't do this, Lucette. Apparently he could talk. What's your voice? If she takes away all your powers, you'll be nothing but an empty shell. Mother slaps Waltz before he can say anything else. Ow! He falls to his side, his body still incapable of movement. Waltz! While I'm impressed that you managed to break that spell, I'm confident that you may not be able to break your bindings. Mother lets out an exasperated sigh. My patience is running out, Lucette. If you don't give me what I want, then I have to force it from you. I see Mother flick her hand to cast a spell. I'm about to move, but I'm too late. Her spell collides with my body. I expect to feel pain, but I'm surprised by the sudden lightness that overtakes me. Soon my eyes grow heavy and my knees buckle, causing me to fall to the floor. I feel as air. Lucette! I continue to lay there on the floor, unmoving, as Mother strides toward me. Don't worry, little one. Your nightmares will soon be over. Her face is the last thing I see before I'm consumed by an endless darkness. Meow. Have you done as I commanded? Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, is this the same spell that she used on the king, in the other route? I can't hear you, Waltz. Yes, my queen. The pettiness is unlike you, Waltz. I expected more. If you do not like working for me, you can simply say no. I will not force you to continue here against your will. You served me well these past few months, after all. You know full well why I'm still here. You are so enraptured with my daughter. But I do not blame you. I think she's lovelier now than she's ever been before. She's like a little doll. But ironic. Because Lucette loves dolls, right? So Mother turned her into a doll. She does not talk back. She does not rebel. And she does everything I tell her to. She's far more obedient this way. I prefer it. Don't you agree, Lucette? Yes. You made her like this. Of course she would think so. Oh, but she isn't dead. Isn't that why you continue to stay here? Out of some desperate hope that you'll be able to break her out of this spell, return her to the way she was. How foolish. I must assure you there's no way to reverse this spell. If Lucette had been a good girl and done as she was told in the first place, she would not have to be like this. Indeed, because you interrupted the initial process, there is no way for me to be restored to power without taking Lucette's spirit. In a way, you made her into this, Waltz. She sacrificed herself for you. You have no one to blame but yourself. Stop it. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to hurt her. Don't you love her? Deeply. As truly as any mother should love her daughter. It's a shame you cannot recognize that, Waltz. This kind of reminds me of another horror game. Well, the Cinderella phenomenon isn't exactly a horror game, but it's kind of like a horror ending, really. But it reminds me of another game that's like within the horror genre, I guess, an RPG maker. Instead of a mother, it's a father, and a very similar ending happens. Anyway. What's that? I've only acted for the benefit of all witches. One day you will accept that. I know Lucette already has. Am I right, Lucette? Yes, Mother. Huh? Well, at least this time, every time when there's a bad end, the boy dies basically. The B shonen. Oh, the captain's hook, I guess. Is that what it is? But at least this time, Waltz is not dead. I mean, we pretty much become a hollow husk. The ghosts of our former selves, but at least Waltz isn't dead. At least there's that. Yeah, even though he died, it's still pretty messed up. It's like a fate worse than death, Anyway, let's try to not die now, and try to go back and try to do the right thing. Our happy ending, Let's see, how do we go? We'll go all the way back. Waltz chapter 3, right? Yeah. I assume? Yeah. Alright. Okay. Share your burden? Yep. So you trust them and everything, and here's like badass Lucette. And then here's the awesome. Let's see. I guess fast forward. And before we just ran to him, I don't know if that did anything. How about we attack? Hiya! I act on impulse. I know that the spell I have been taught will not even graze her, but I did not consider that consequence as I raise my hand to cast the spell. Power slowly begins to trickle through my veins and into my palms as I approach the platform. Let him go! Lucette, don't! My heart is my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go! I would do anything, just let him go. Anything? Okay, what does that say? Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so maybe that's not the right idea. Maybe we shouldn't be like crackling electricity on our hands. That doesn't do anything, so I just run him, I guess. Let him go! Yeah, okay. Alright. And this is near the end. There must be something else I can do besides submit to Mother. Like, if I do that, I'll just become like a mindless doll, so that's probably not a good idea. I need to find a way to protect Waltz and save Angel from her. I clasp my hands together in a silent prayer. Yurukobe. Father, please guide me. I take a deep breath and with renewed determination, I push open the doors in time for the final showdown once again. This time, hopefully, we're not gonna lose. The brightest star. When I enter the room, Mother is the first person I see. She's sitting so regally on the throne, but as I draw closer, I notice how pale she has become since I last saw her. My gaze shifts to Waltz, who is kneeling beside her like a loyal servant, a rope of light binding him in place. Waltz. Lucette, you shouldn't come here. Mother flicks her wrist, tightening Waltz's bounds. Oh, he's on mute this time, I guess. Hush now. My mind is racing as I desperately try to conjure a plan. If Waltz has yet to escape, it must be because his bindings are stopping him from using his magic. If I could just break Mother's concentration, perhaps I can free him, but how do I do that? A terrible pain travels through my chest and makes my heart throb. I put a hand to my chest and grimace. It feels as if some part of me has suddenly been severed. This feeling. Could be that the shoot I built around the past has been destroyed. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's different. Oh, it seems like we have visitors. Visitors? Hey! Oh, everyone's here. The door flies open and Parfait suddenly walks in, face stern. Dolores strides in beside her. Why are you here? Everyone outside is safe. Garland, Juliet, and Karma are doing their best to evacuate them to their homes. They'll be safer there. And then there's you. You did a very foolish thing, striding in here on your own. How sad. I expected there'd be more reinforcements, but it's just you two. We don't need an army to stop you here. Mother's lips curl into a tight frown. Old words. But might I remind you that I'm the one with the hostage. If I see any of you move a finger, I will end this boy's life. I'm about to end this boy's career. Mother turns to me once again and snickers. I'm pretty sure my daughter here wouldn't like that, would you, love? My eyes meet Waltz's. He shakes his head at me, eyes gleaming with his insistence. No doubt he wants me to put myself over him, but I came here to save him. No matter how much I try to think myself out of this, it seems impossible. In the end, I'm still weak. I'm still useless. Now, where were we? Lucette, don't do what she says. The rest of Dolores' words become muffled when Mother flicks her wrist and causes a glass wall to rise between us. Dear! Dolores' voice sounds as if it's echoing from far away. Okay, so like, dear! Or something like that, I don't know. Quiet. Or did she say dear? She said Hadir, right? Yeah, Hadir. I thought she said like Hadir or said, I don't know. Faye holds up her hand and magic begins to sparkle at her fingertips. Before she can form any sort of spell, Mother twirls her fingers and tightens Waltz's magic bindings. Waltz cries out in pain as he collapses to the floor. Waltz! Dear, please stop this! Faye approaches the glass wall and places a palm on top of it. Are you not growing tired of this, Dear? The humans already suffer so much for what they've done in the past. Is that still not enough? Humans are fickle creatures, and that's why they cannot be trusted. Nothing can ever change how I perceive them anymore, Faye. There's a shadow of sadness on Mother's face, but it's only momentarily. Or momentary, rather. I cherished the humans, even respected them, yet they destroyed my kind out of fear for some silly story. If it had not been for that human bard, it would never come to this. Hans already paid dearly for his mistakes when a witch murdered him. But you know just as well as I that I was trying to mend his mistakes. Mother stomps her feet on the floor with a scowl. His death has changed nothing. Dear. Silence, Faye. You will never understand the feeling of being feared and hated. Mother turns to me again, her eyes cold. Every time Faye tries to like reason with her, but like it never works because she's far too gone. Oh well. Now, are you ready to return what is rightfully mine, Lucette? I look at Parfait and Delora, then at Waltz. I cannot give my powers back to Mother, not when I know what she will do once she is the Tenor Brown Bearer again. But I cannot let her kill Waltz either. If these fools here had not changed you, I would have not had no qualms about letting you remain the Tenor Brown Bearer. I raised you to be the perfect queen. All that I did to prepare you for the crown. Mother knows best. Mother, that's it. If I can pretend that I'm on her side, then maybe I can buy enough time to save Waltz. Maybe Parfait will come up with an idea. Maybe Parfait will come up with an idea. I glance at Waltz. My heart aches when our gazes meet once again. Forgive me, Waltz, but this is the only plan I have right now. I take a deep breath as I face Mother once again. You're right. I should have listened to you. I want to go back to the way we are, Mother. What are you doing? Lucette. I ignore Waltz and Dolores' voices and focus only on Mother. You've always been right, Mother. I remember the disdain looks the people gave me earlier. Even after I saved everyone, they still wished I would die. I was so scared. Yes, now you see. I only wanted to protect you from those cruel humans, my daughter. You kept me away from everyone. I was alone. I'm sorry, Mother. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, but you need to go back to sleep forever. Only then do I realize I'm crying. Not because I need her forgiveness, but because there's no helping her. The only way to help my mother is to frickin' murder her. I mean, what? Is to make her disappear, which is basically murdering her. She cannot be saved anymore. I just want her to be loved and accepted. Mother stands up from the throne and slowly walks toward me, her arms spread. And in my arms you will always be. Lucette, the Martian accepted you for who you are. No. You are all forced to accept me because you knew that what would happen if I stayed the way I was. You were afraid that I would end up like Mother. Lucette, you're right. I am like my mother. We are related by blood after all. You know, this would be more dramatic if we didn't know about her inner monologue. I mean, obviously she is just like, hey, I'm just pretending, by the way, to become Hideo's daughter, and then we're gonna trick her at the last second. This would actually be much more dramatic if we didn't hear about her like plan in the first place. If we just put it out there, and then the reader would definitely be shocked, you know, if Lucette actually just turned back to her old self just like that. That would be cool, actually, but I don't know. Well, I feel like it kind of like, you know, missed the opportunity there, but anyway. You are right, Lucette. You are sweet and perfect, and wonderfully obedient, as any daughter ought to be. I was blinded by the Martian's lies once, but now I realize that no one loves me as you do, Mother. Lucette. The pain in Waltz's voice is unbearable, but I do not look at him. I do not flinch away when Mother stops in front of me and wraps her arms around me. Gone is the warmth I thought I felt whenever she hugged me. Right now, Mother's embrace is as cold as ice. Will you still accept me, Mother? Of course, Lucette. When Mother pulls back, the smile on her face is bright and beautiful. This is how I remember her, filled with love for me. I knew you would return to me. There's so many things I have planned for the two of us, but you need to prove yourself worthy of my love and trust once more. What? Mother's eyes gleam. Prove to me that you choose me, darling. Mother turns around and gestures to Waltz. Kill the traitor. My heart sinks. This wasn't part of the plan. What should I do now? I know that one offensive spell. I know one offensive. Is that how you say it? Offensive? Offensive? I know that one offensive spell that I don't want to hurt. I don't want to hurt Waltz, but you haven't perfected it yet. But what you can do is enough to hurt and paralyze your enemy for a short time. Okay, I guess we'll just do that. I can pretend to cast it on Waltz and direct it at Mother. Waltz told me before that it's impossible to cast two shields at the same time. Mother already has one shield up, so she cannot cast another shield on herself unless she dispels the first. But with the two of us being so close, I'm likely to hurt myself as well. I close my eyes, mind set. This is not the time to worry about myself. I just have to hope that this opening is big enough to give everyone the opportunity they need. For you, Mother, I will do anything, and that includes murdering you. Unlimited power! Bzz. I extend my hand and allow the energy to gather in my fingertips. Impressive that you were to learn this deadly and painful magic in such a short span of time. This spell will be a befitting end for the traitor. Lucette, don't! Parfait attempts to break down the glass wall, separating us with a spell but only cracks the surface. By the time you destroy that wall, will be too late, Faye. You can't do this, Lucette! Laura has now joined Parfait in trying to destroy the wall that Mother has built. I ignore them and focus back on my spell until I feel a familiar current of energy pulsing in my arms. It is ready. Now, say goodbye to that traitor. Goodbye. I hold out my hand to Mother just as I release the energy. Mother? I do not give Mother any time to react. The electricity crackles in the air just as the spell makes contact with her body. Because we are so close to each other, I too feel the impact of the electricity as it trickles through me. I collapse on the ground, tears in my eyes. It hurts so much. Lucette! How could you do this, Lucette? I blink away in my tears to see Mother lying on the floor opposite me, her face filled with rage as she looks at me. Out in the corner of my eyes, I notice that the glass wall has disappeared, and Waltz is already on his way toward me. The bindings made of light are gone. And yet again, you know what the strongest element is in all of magic? It's called the element of surprise. There you go. Waltz lifts me up and then moves around the corners of the room. The sensation of pain spreading throughout my body is like being pricked with hundreds of needles. Waltz tucks my hair back, his features crease with worry. Parfait walks where Mother is and casts a binding spell around her while Laura rushes to my side. That was a dangerous stunt you pulled, Lucette. It was, but the only thing I could think of. You're surprised Peter actually fell for that? you know? And the others thought Lucette really meant what she said. I mean, yeah. I mean, probably, I guess another parallel because Waltz always does puppet shows, right? And everything, like a performance. You know, Lucette probably picked up some performance skills from that, maybe. I don't know. And obviously, the others thinking that she would do what she would do, you know, turning into the dark side, that probably helped. But also, you know, remember, Hideo, despite her madness, she really probably does love her daughter and everything, you know? Even though she does turn her into a doll and everything, and the bad end, she does love her. So that probably makes her more likely to believe her and everything, so... And that's why she got tricked. And it's not the first time she got tricked, ironically. She also got tricked by Waltz. Probably, right? She got betrayed and everything. Again. Well. I blink away tears as I feel another fit of pain. This is all I can manage. Lucette, hang in there. I look at Parfait with pleading eyes. Parfait, please end this. Please save Mother from herself. Parfait slowly stands and walks towards Mother. I was the only one who truly loved you, Lucette, and you did this to me. Do you really think that these fools cared about you as much as I did? No, you're wrong. I had people who loved me, but you took them away from me. I refuse to let you steal away any more of them. Parfait stretches out her hand, her whole body begins to emit a soft glow. I wish I didn't have to end it this way, Hideo. Well, at least this time, Parfait doesn't have to, like, sacrifice herself. I was wondering maybe if we're gonna spare her mother, you know? Put her in, like witch prison or something, but I guess not. I guess we're just gonna kill her. You are making a big mistake, protecting the humans to destroy my kind, Faye. You are no different than those humans, Hideo. Violence does not beget more violence. I can feel tears on my cheeks as I look at Mother's still form. Lucette, you don't have to see this. But Waltz puts a hand over my eyes, blinding me. You've already seen enough darkness, but ironically you're gonna see more darkness. I guess in a literal sense. I can feel an explosion of energy around me. A chilling current runs through the air, carrying his mother's scream to my ears. And there you go, Parfait. Murders are mother. Murders are mother? No. Murders are mother. A soft energy begins to flow through my body. Mother's power from the Tenebrarum. Mother's gone. When Waltz draws his hand away, I'm able to glance at where Mother was just moments ago. There's nothing but specks of silver dust. My face stands over the ashes, crying. I'm so sorry. Another shockwave of pain courses through my body. This time, I feel it attack my consciousness. I feel myself fading away. Lucette! Let me sleep. Just for a little while. Mwah. Hey, one more final memory. One day you will become my queen, my love. Just like Mother? Yes, just like me. Will you be there when I become queen? Of course. I will always be by your side. Forever? Forever. I love you, Mother. Well, she's dead though. I love you too, Lucette. Again, probably it was real. The love was real. It's just that it was twisted, you know, and everything. I guess I was thinking like maybe one ending where Hideo lives, but that was the bad end, and she gets her way. So I don't know. Now Waltz and Lucette doesn't have any immediate family members anymore, I guess. Well, you know what? Our real family is here in the Martian, or whatever, right? I guess that's the idea anyway. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see is Waltz. He's leaning over me, anxiety clearly etched on his face. Waltz? Oh, thank goodness you're finally awake. I slowly inspect my surroundings, only to realize I'm back in my old room in the Martian. I try to remember how I got here, but my memories are hazy. What happened? You passed out and have been sleeping for 3 days. 3 days? I push myself on the bed and wince. My body is unusually heavy. Waltz places his hands on my shoulders and gently eases me back onto the pillows. You're still weak. You need to rest more. I close my eyes and try to remember what happened. That's right. I was trying to save Waltz from Mother. Parfait and Delora came to save us, and then... It is over. I open my eyes and stare at Waltz. Right? Waltz reaches for my hand, smiling as he gently squeezes it. Yes. My vision blurs as tears begin to sting my eyes. I hope Mother is in a better place now. A place where she doesn't have to suffer anymore. Waltz leans over and kisses my forehead. I'm sure she is. So I wonder... I don't know, I wonder if Waltz feels different. You know, I wonder if Waltz is like, actually, I wish she is burning in hell. Maybe not, I don't know. Waltz begins to fill me on the details of everything that transpired after I passed out. Because I have a feeling, you know, really only Lucette has that sort of sympathy for her mother. Except maybe, Parfait as well, I guess. You know, Parfait and Lucette are really the only people who have sympathy for Hidir. Otherwise, everyone else, like, don't like her. Anyway, Alcaster was officially declared dead. Okay, he's dead. First, there was a commotion as the people considered what Mother would do now that she wore the crown. Their worries only stopped when they found out Mother was truly gone. Fritz was locked up on account of being a possible danger to everyone. Everyone has been waiting for a verdict for me to decide what to do with him. I fall asleep not long after Waltz's explanation. I go back to sleep. And then I wake up. And when I open my eyes again, I'm alone in my room. I shiver as I sit up, head foggy. I rub my hands over my arms in an attempt to will away some of the cold. Something feels off. I slowly step out of bed and begin to head for the door. But before I even lay my hand on the knob, the door opens on its own. Oh, you're finally awake. You're finally awake. They caught you, right? Crossing the border? Or something. I don't know. The Skyrim opening. Parfait. I don't think you should be up and about right now. You should still be resting. Parfait leads me back to the bed. How are you feeling? I look up at Parfait's face and realize how paper white her skin has become. Her circles under her eyes are even darker than they were before. Tired, but I will be fine. But you do not look well. I'll be fine. I wanted to talk to you today if you're feeling up to listening. What's this all about? I wanted to apologize for forcing you to shoulder the heavy burden caused by our mistakes, both Hidir's and mine. Back then, I did not have the heart to stop Hidir. If I had only defeated her then, none of this would have happened. Parfait reaches out and cups my head in her hands. Your dedication and kindness saved us all, Lucette. The future will be brighter with you as the Tenor-Brown bearers. What if I become corrupted by the darkness? What if I... Parfait places a finger on my lips and smiles. No, you are different, Lucette. Unlike Hidir, you are surrounded by people who love you. Those people are filled with light. Light that will drive away whatever darkness invades your heart. That's why I know you'll be alright. Unless they all die somehow in a freak accident, and then we'll probably become the next Hidir, I don't know, anyway. Parfait smiles at me gently. It's a beautiful shining smile, one that glows bright even as I begin to notice that the rest of Parfait's body is fading. Oh, okay, I guess, you know, it doesn't matter, like, there's that one route where she sacrifices herself, you know, and then she dies, and you know, everyone's sad. But like, I guess it doesn't matter if she survives or not, the events, she'll always just fade away, you know? So she will always technically die anyway. Parfait, your body is... Parfait's smile becomes melancholy. I thought I would start to disappear soon. My heart aches as I hold tight to Parfait's arms with shaking hands. What are you saying? Fairies and witches do not age physically and live longer. But that does not mean we're perfectly immortal. Okay, I guess you didn't really explain that before, but I guess that's how it works. My body can only take so much damage before I finally withers away. Like any player, wow, I love Parfait, she's so kind. And then, I have decided I want her to die, bye-bye. She just dies, doesn't matter. But you can't disappear. You said before you had no heir. Because that is what I wanted everyone to believe. Don't worry, Lucette. When I'm gone, one of my relatives will take over the responsibilities of the bearer. Oh, okay. I guess we don't have to worry about that. as it turns out. Tears well up in my eyes as I stare at Parfait. I've already lost too many people, Parfait. I cannot lose you too. Though I guess in this route, not a lot of people die. Only the bad guys, really. Mithros, Allcaster, Mother. Did anyone else die? I guess Dad. Yeah, I guess Dad died. I guess Parfait dies as well, so I don't know. I guess the body count is still comparable. At least, well, she's dying on screen anyway. But we were going to work together to bring back balance between the crystals. You still have so much to teach me. I'm sorry, Lucette. I would have loved to stay with you a bit longer, but my time here is up. Parfait continues to grow more translucent, even as my hands slip through her arms. I try to reach for her again, but I can no longer touch her. Parfait! I already said my farewells to everyone else earlier. You are the last and most important person I must say goodbye to. Thank you for putting everything to rest, Lucette. Parfait closes her eyes, her lips still curl to a gentle smile, even as she begins to fade into pure light. And she gets Thanos snapped away. Oh well. Parfait, no! I reach for her again, but when I pull my hands back, they are covered in golden dust. The gentle dust floats in the air before me, where Parfait was moments ago. Be strong, and be kind, Lucette. It echoes in the air. Wow. A few days after Parfait's passing, I went back to my training. My goal was to expel everyone's fairy tale curses once and for all. After more than a week of intensive training with Waltz and Delora, I'm able to completely dispel the fairy tale curse from the Crystallum Tenebrarum. Now the fairy tale curse is non-existent, and it cannot be cast again in Angel. This is only one of the first steps I take in dismantling all of the damage Mother has done, but it is a step forward. And now with that done, I feel it is time to return to the palace. As the only blood heir to the throne, I have a responsibility to uphold and a promise to fulfill. Feeling of Rod and Emmeline, I returned to the palace a couple of days ago. Julian and Garland went with them so that they could act as security. Fritz has been pardoned and now resumes his duties at the palace, only now he's no longer my personal knight. I opted to stay behind so I could spend one last day with everyone in the tavern. Now as I stand here in the tavern, I realize how many friends I have made over the last few months. Yes, the power of friendship. I never thought I would be so sad apart from all these people, but now that everything is back to normal, we have no reason to stay in the Martian together day in and out. Anise, are you sure you don't want to try working in the palace again? You would make a wonderful royal chef. Oh, thank you so much for the offer, Princess. But as much as I love to cook, I think I prefer working more with medicine. I would like to try it under Chevalier, so I can one day become a doctor. Yeah, I wonder if Anise and Chevalier end up together in this timeline, I don't know. I look at Rumpel, or Chevalier, as he flashes a smile at me. When his curse was dispelled, he remembered his real name, Chevalier. It had been difficult to get used to. Not only that, but his personality has mellowed somewhat. Take good care of Anise. But of course. And I hope next time we meet, you will not try to flirt with me. Chevalier snorts and crosses his arms, but I see a hint of mischief as he smiles. I'll try my best, though I make no promises. I roll my eyes at him, and he responds with an easy laugh. I too am soon laughing along with him. Laughing princess, what a sight for sore eyes. This will definitely take some getting used to. I scowl at him. See you in men's clothing will take some getting used to as well. Yeah, why couldn't you stay like women's clothing? I don't know, anyway. Well, try your best not to fall for my handsome face. Right. So, what are you planning to do? Karma looks away and rubs the back of his neck. Well, I'll go back to my kingdom and hope that I'll not find my name on a gravestone. Either way, I have a lot of explaining to do. Laura, where will you go now? Well, for starters, I plan on talking to all the good witches I know who are still in hiding. I'm sure they'll be happy to know they can finally come back to Angel. They'll be even happier to know that we have a capable bearer. Bearer. My heart sinks as I remember Parfait. If she were still here, she would be talking about how we both need to do our best to maintain the balance between the crystals. You know, I wonder if we meet our Like her relative, do we meet the new bearer of the Lucis crystal? I don't know. What if I fail at being a capable bearer? Impossible, especially with Waltz there by your side. Oh, but speaking of which, where is Waltz? All of us glanced around the circle. He left so quietly none of us had even realized. I'll go look for him. I moved first to the forest, feeling he might be in there seeking some kind of quiet solace. Sure enough, I found him staring up at the sky, with his eyes full of melancholy. Waltz? Oh. Hi there, little star. Are we leaving now? We will be leaving soon. You suddenly disappeared, so I came to look for you. Waltz's lip tugged into a smile tinged with sadness. Sorry, I just thought the sky was so clear today. I had to come out and marvel at it. That's not a very convincing lie. Waltz looks up again, his smile slipping. Waltz, are you alright? Really alright? I'm a little... sad. Sad? Deer killed my family when I was still young. I've been yearning to be part of family again ever since then. Well, we better start making some babies. When we became friends so long ago, you were the closest thing to family that I had. When we were pulled apart, I met Lady Parfait was accepted in the Martian. Now that it's time to leave everyone, I realize how sad I am. I've lived here since I was first cursed. Everyone in the Martian has become my family. I moved to stand beside him, then reached out to take his hand. His fingers weaved their way through mine. I owe Lady Parfait so much. She gave me a family and reunited us. I owe her a lot too. Waltz turns to me and smiles. Sorry if I worried you. Shall we go back to the palace now? The palace? Not before you say your own goodbyes. I was planning on it, I just had to compose myself out here first. Compose? It's hard to imagine Waltz in tears. Well then, we'll say our goodbyes and you can open one of your portals. We can just do that now? That's pretty convenient, we just go anywhere we want. No need to call an Uber, just teleport. How about we walk to the palace? Oh, we're just gonna walk instead? Okay. I shrink back at his suggestion. You know how much those townspeople despise me. I know it's important that I build a relationship with them before I become their new queen, but I do not think I'm ready for that yet. Waltz's smile is reassuring. Oh, but I have something important to show you in town. Something important? You'll see when we get there. But Waltz brings my hand to his lips and kisses my knuckles. I'll be by your side, little star, so there's nothing to fear. I stare at Waltz for a few moments before nodding my head. Okay. We returned to the Martian temporarily to say our final farewells. After that, Waltz and I walked into the town in silence. I'm in awe as we enter the plaza. I notice immediately that something is different. There are lily decorations hanging all around the square and through the streets. I wonder why all these lilies are here. The people in the immediate vicinity turn to look at me, their conversation going silent as they notice me. It is as I thought. Of course they still fear me. Big sister! I turned at the sound of the voice and noticed one of the little girls that I played with once before running toward us. She almost makes it to us before our woman I assume to be her mother pulls her back. I'm surprised when the mother hands her daughter a bouquet of lilies and whispers something to her before releasing her. The little girl nods before running up to me. I bend down so that we are eye level. I'm shocked when she suddenly throws her arms around my neck. Yeah. Thank you, big sister. The girl pulls back and hands me a bouquet of lilies. My mama says thank you as well. I stare at her, still baffled, before glancing at her mother. The woman nods to me, then dips into a soft bow. Alright, so I guess everyone is magically, well, not literal magic, but everyone has a good opinion of us now again, I guess. I take a bouquet from the girl and stand up. I can only stare on, still shocked, as more townspeople approach me with lilies in their hands. Waltz, what's going on? Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. Huh? The townspeople have been planning this for days. They asked me to make sure that you pass through the town on this day so that they give you their message. Message? I turned back to the people gathered around me and noticed that they're all still holding the flowers with bright smiles in their faces. The silence is gone, replaced by excited chattering and bright laughter. The count of 3. He starts counting, and at the end of his countdown, the townsfolk throw the flowers up in the air. Never mind the guy that tried to bug us. Is it the same guy? Okay, probably not. The delicate petals fluttered down to Waltz and I, showering us in gentle color. And all at once, they begin to say the same phrase, their voices mingling to create the most harmonious and overwhelming greeting I've ever received. Thank you. You risked your life to save us, all of us, despite how we treated you. We must judge you, Your Highness. Please forgive us. We knew we had to give you a grand thank you for all you've done for us, so we planned this. So the lily decorations. They're a celebration of you, the soon-to-be queen. I feel tears gathering in my eyes, and I quickly wipe them away with the back of my hand. Obviously, it's like great, everyone loves Lucette, she's the new queen, she has a good public opinion. But also, remember what Hideo said, how humans are very fickle? At one moment they hated her guts, but now they love her. Amazing. There's nothing to apologize for. I was the one at fault. We judge you harshly. We have no right to. The past doesn't matter anymore. We all decided to change for the better. From now on, you have our full cooperation. Just as we helped the previous king, so too shall we help you, Your Highness. Everyone, thank you. Even though this is kind of like a weird power dynamic where I'm the ruler, I have the authority, and you're all like commoners, but anyway. I will do my best to continue the reign of peace my father started. The people's eyes are filled with hope as they hand over lily bouquets. My hands are quickly filled, and Waltz ends up having to take the majority of them. We continue toward the palace, the crowd cheering behind us. Amazing. Hey. I think we saw that in the opening, actually. I guess that's a transition screen. It's been 2 months since I returned to the palace. Since then, I've been working non-stop so that I can better familiarize myself with running a kingdom. I've been studying day and night, trying to broaden my knowledge of the kingdom. I've had help from many people, and I've come a long way. Today I was officially crowned the new queen of Angeal. My determination has only grown since then. I've been trying to take my responsibilities as seriously as I possibly can. But for the time being, I have space to breathe. A dinner celebration has been planned for tonight, and I'm on my way to my room to prepare. Everyone will be there. I cannot wait to see them again. Lucette. I turned to see Emmeline running toward me. I noticed a rod is trailing behind her. What's the matter? You seem to be in a hurry. What's the matter? The party is in a few hours and you're still not dressed. Aren't we? We're not gonna... I guess we're gonna be in a more fancier dress. We're already in a fancy dress, but I guess not. This really isn't so dire a circumstance. It's been months, but it's still so strange to hear Rod's voice actually coming from his own mouth. Oh, please calm down, Emmeline. Even though Rod has his voice back, he still keeps Sebby with him. The stuffed rabbit sometimes throws in little comments here and there. What it is, this event is very important. It will not take me 2 hours to prepare, Emmeline. But it might. You're the queen now, and you must look very regal tonight. I raised an eyebrow at her. 2 hours is a little excessive, and I'm not planning to do anything overly special tonight. But don't you want to at least look pretty for Waltz? What are you talking about? Mother and I want to make you shine so bright, Waltz won't be able to take his eyes off of you. Emmeline, I won't take no for an answer this time. He turns to Rod with a mischievous grin. We'll be done soon. I'll see you later, Rod. Without waiting for my reply, Emmeline grabs my hands and pulls me into my room. And with that, I'm done. I cannot believe it took so long just to put on makeup. I did not think making myself up like this would be enjoyable, but doing this with Philly and Emmeline was fun. You look so beautiful, Lucette. You really do look the part of queen. Isn't this too much? It's funny, we don't really see her face. I guess we'll see her later. Not at all. You should take pride in doing yourself up like this sometimes. You have a lovely face, Lucette. If you insist. Now that we've helped you, we need to help ourselves. The celebration's just around the corner. We'll see you later, dear. Ophelia, M. They both stopped right in front of the door. Thank you. For everything. Of course, this is what families do, Lucette. The two smile at me one last time before they exit the room. I stand up and head for the balcony. The cool air is refreshing on my skin. Father, if you had also been here, tonight would have been perfect. Lucette? Come in. I've come to let you know that everyone has arrived early. Walt comes to an abrupt stop when he sees me. He openly stares at me, mouth slightly open in awe. My face warms up. What? Waltz turns his face away, his face deep red. You look beautiful tonight. Thank you. A gentle smile forms on Waltz's lips as he approaches. He stops in front of me, gently tracing my cheek with one of his fingers. His touch leaves a trail of warmth on my skin. My star is shining brighter tonight. Waltz holds out his hand. May I have this dance, my lady? I cannot help but giggle as I place my hand in his. Before the dance even starts, Waltz has suddenly wrapped an arm around my waist. He tilts me downward with a smile. Alright, look at her, she's like super beautiful. Her sparkly dress reminds me of the glass slipper. Waltz. Waltz draws closer to me, his lips pulling me into a mischievous smile. I'm lucky to be the first man to see you tonight, but I don't like the idea of other men seeing you as you are. I'm going to be awfully jealous. I give him a teasing smile. Are you worried that someone will take me away from you? Not really. Should I be? Well, in the other timelines, we do have different romantic targets. You know my feelings for you will never change unless we go to a different route. And you know that I will always love you, no matter what. The two of us are frozen in time. I feel I could stand here and look into Waltz's eyes like this forever. I love you, Lucette. I love you too, Waltz. Okay. Alright. There you go. That's the final ending. Unless there's anything else, I feel like, I don't think there is. I don't think there's like one like super secret ending you get by finishing all the routes. I think that's it. That's it. There you go. That's the Waltz ending, and I guess we, learned the most from his ending and everything. Learn about his King Gennaro a little bit more. I guess it's also like, people still die, but I guess it's the least amount of body count, at least for the good guys. Just the bad guys that all die, But who cares about them, right? There you go. Waltz's route. I'm still disappointed that... obviously, the visual novel is still good, but I'm still disappointed that there isn't like an ending where Lucette just becomes a full-on Hidir, She kills the deer, kills her friends, and takes over the kingdom, and the new reign of terror is upon the world. Maybe not. I don't know. I just kind of just want evil Lucette, but I guess not. The only time that I guess we submit to Hidir, we just get turned into a doll, so that's no fun. But anyway, yeah. All right, visual novel, otome game. I liked it. I really just played it for the plot. People say that. I guess people say that a lot, but I do like the plot. I actually just played this for the reason why I went through this is just because I heard that the plot was pretty good, and it's interesting. There's a bit of intrigue, and mystery to it as well. I like that. I like the idea of Hidir, being like a main villain. You only get to see in some routes, and how she's like goddamn crazy. Pretty great. All right, and the clock strikes midnight. Oh, wait. Oh, there's more. The bonus scene? Okay. Once upon a time, there was a princess who lived far, far away. She was known as the Ice Princess, named for her frigid heart and unyielding... The princess shunned all those who sought to help her. She was scared to go on the world, so she locked herself in the castle. It's pretty fast. And one day, the Ice Princess became the victim of the infamous fairy tale curse and forced to go from riches to rags. I read it super fast. As the princess struggled to come to terms with her new life, she met a very special man. I guess that's true in every route. The two endured much strife, helping each other overcome various ordeals, and in the end they emerged victorious. Hooray! Huzzah! The special man thawed the princess's ice-cold heart and dried her dampened spirits. The two vowed to love each other for the rest of time. Amazing. Yay. They lived happily ever after. Okay, so I guess that's kind of like a little special bonus. What happens after happily ever after? I don't know. Are you ready to go, Lucette? Okay. Voice. I'm coming. And this is automatic, so I can't really... Oh, hey, Lucette! Sorry for keeping you waiting. Oh, it's like... Well, she's very kawaii. Now, shall we go? I assume that the voice there is like, you know, depends on what your husbando is. Depends on your favorite husbando. It's like whatever voice you want it to be. Also disappointed there isn't a Yuri ending. I don't know. Anyway, look, sometimes... You know, there's like multiple timelines, a lot of parallel universes, you know. It's not impossible that Lucette might be gay in one of them. I don't know. Anyway. There you go. Got on the endings. I guess you get that by, you know, unlocking all 5 routes. They're working on a fan disc? I wonder what's on the fan disc. Is that like something you could support developers with or something? I don't know. But anyway. Alright, I mean that's it. I don't know, is there anything else to look at? I like this image. You know, I like it when Lucetta's a badass, you know. You know, some part of me just wants her to just stay as an ice princess. Because she's badass when she is. Like, it's like ice cold and everything, you know. But I guess, you know, it's, yeah, her happiness is bad. It's more important than that. Okay, guys. All the dreams. There's more dreams. So, how sad. Her mother couldn't just be normal. She just had to go crazy. I half expected her during the story for Hideo to be like go full on psycho or something, you know. I mean, she is a psycho, but she doesn't go like, you know, super psycho, you know, like a CG where she goes like full on insane or like, you know, yandere eyes and everything, and I don't know, like destroys the world with like a giant meteor or something. I don't know. Anyway, so I guess in its own way, I guess like you know, this part is pretty, you know. Pretty psycho, pretty yandere right here. Look at her, she's crazy. So that's pretty fucked up. Anyway, I don't know, I'm just meandering now. I have nothing else to talk about really. Oh, the main menu is still laggy. In fact, I want to get out of the main menu, go back to the gallery. I'm going to go back to the gallery. Any music? See? Piano? Anyway, no, I'm just listening to the music now. Alright. So Cinderella Phenomenon. I played for the plot. And also, I mean, B-shoulders are good too. I don't know, what's my favorite? I just like Lucette the best. I don't know, it's just me, I guess. I just like Lucette the best. When it comes to the characters, I just like the main character. I don't know. That would be my favorite character if I had one. Yeah, Cinderella Phenomenon. Interesting story, interesting plot. I like the idea that you go through different routes. You learn bit by bit, you know, all the little secrets about the world, and it comes to like a final finale and everything, and you learn everything. That's great. Alright, that was good. That was it for Cinderella Phenomenon. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.